right, we are getting into our main topic tonight, which is games that we spent a ton of time on. Tons of time. I will say most of it's probably going to be more modern because it's easier to track that time, but we could touch on the retro as
Yeah.
well, just from memory and how many hours we think we put into that game. But some games you could just get lost in and continuously play and just come back to them and just enjoy it. We
Mm,
did make a list of, I think we each did about 5. We could probably have some honorable mentions as well.
sure.
I'm curious with Keith because I feel like Keith, plays a lot of retro games, so I feel like his list might be all retro.
You might be
Is your is your
surprised then.
is your chair okay over there?
My chair, I'm all over the place today. I don't know what's
Uh-oh.
going on. I'm still antsy because of this thing. It's all over my arm over here.
Oh, the tattoo.
Yeah.
You wanna start us off, Dave?
Oh, sure. I'll start you. I'm gonna go most obvious, guys. I'm gonna get it out of the way because I know Russ and Keith probably don't want to hear it. But I'm grouping these together because it's all the same IP. Um, we've got what's the first one? We got Breath of the Wild, obviously. We've got Tears of the Kingdom, and we got a third one, Age of Calamity,
The Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors. That was the basically the prequel to Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Um, it's a basically a hack and slash game, but the story they did make a Hyrule Warriors before that, but this one just with the storyline and everything I got, you know, it just took me over.
Okay.
Um, as Russ knows, as a lot of people might know, Breath of the Wild, when that came out, I played through it completely on the Wii U. Then I played it completely through on the Switch because I got on the Switch. So I was like, well, I got to play it through on the Switch now and get all up to date. So there's that. And then with Tears of the Kingdom, I played that with my daughter, and I probably put more hours into Tears of the Kingdom because of the Sky Islands, the map of Hyrule, and as well as the depths. So unlocking all of that, getting all the stories, doing all the side quests. There's so much stuff. When they went up on the price on it it was $70 instead of $60. They
Mhm.
said, "Don't worry, it's going to be worth it," and it was worth it. And I still pick it up every now and then and kind of keep going through it and stuff. I I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll play it through again, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so I won't spend too much time on it, but yeah, these 3 games have basically shaped my love of Zelda. I had Zelda growing up. Wasn't as much into it until I got into, Breath of the Wild. So, since then, it's been just a rabbit hole of diving back into everything else.
Give us a number. What do you think you clocked?
Do you wanna say, like, all 3
Hours.
of them
Yeah,
combined?
yeah, all 3
Oh
combined.
my god. Like, am I going through them twice? Like Breath of the Wild going through them twice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
that
mentioned Wii U.
counts.
Yeah,
Okay.
that counts.
Alright. So I would say,
You need a calculator?
ooh, oh my god,
Take
guys,
off your socks if you have to.
it might be close to, like, 1,000 hours.
Okay.
It's gotta be close to 1,000. I would clock Tears of the Kingdom at about 400. I would say these ones I would say Breath of the Wild probably 250, 200 to 250,
Yeah,
and multiply that by 2,
right.
and then this one of, Age of Calamity, probably another 150 or so. There's so much stuff in this, so much unlockable stuff, and then once you go through the game, like, you go through it again. Um, so yeah, it's gotta be at least 1,000 hours minimum. Well
Excellent.
worth my time, though.
There we go.
I highly recommend these games. How about you, Keith?
Well, now I'm a little concerned about you, David, because like, where are we starting here? Like, are we starting on oh, I put this is the lowest amount I put in at the highest amount,
I
or you
think
just
Dave
went
just wanted to
you
get it
just
I'm
out of the
just I'm
way.
just
he
getting it
just
out of the way
grabbed
because
a gear. He's like, "I'm
everybody knows
Zelda,
that I'm a
Zelda,
Tears of the Kingdom Zelda guy. Everybody knows it.
full
Get it out of the way.
bore
Get
Zelda."
throw the obvious out, and let's get
Right?
down to like the rest of the nitty gritty.
I feel like mine's gonna be very opposite for
Okay.
what my obvious one would be. Yes, kinda right, Russ. Chrono Trigger is gonna be
Nice.
one that I've played because I've played this at least twice, and I looked on my saves because this has got all my saves on it from the last time I played through it. Kind of a lower number, but I definitely have my characters all leveled up. I said 25 hours into this one, so
Okay.
doing twice, so probably about 50-hour mark for Chrono Trigger, and that's not I mean, that's getting everything I can and finding everything I could find. Probably not getting that's obviously not getting every ending or anything like that, but, I mean, if it's 25 hours to get through it once and there's, like, what, 6 endings? You could definitely have this one crank up on you real fast if you're playing through
Right.
it and trying to get all the endings, right? So, Chrono Trigger, an awesome RPG. I know you have your childhood copy, Russ, but Chrono Trigger is an awesome one and one I'm so jealous you have your childhood copy. One that is an awesome one and one I played a ton of. So, what about you, Russ? What you got over there?
I would, yeah. I mean, I got to put it on the list for sure. Chrono Trigger. I just can't physically clock how many hours I put in, right? I played it growing up and did tons of grinding, right? To level up the characters, want to get more stronger and do those multiple endings, right? There's one ending you can get where you fight the last boss, Lavos, literally the beginning of the game, and you only have two characters instead of three. So it makes it that much harder. So you need to be like 99, for your leveling. And then I did end up getting it on the Nintendo DS and playing it a little bit on there. So I don't know, just maybe doing a guesstimate of how many hours. I'm sure it's mm, 80, 100, something like that, probably,
Right.
honestly. Because obviously playing this growing up, I had way more time to sink into video games. So I was probably playing this, 5, 8 hours a day for the week.
Yeah.
So definitely got to put
So
it on there.
so just on those picks alone for you guys have now me rethinking my life. Like, what is
We're like, "Oh,
going on?
25, like, thousands of hours." That's why I was a little worried about you.
I'm now worried about myself as well. So thank you for that. I'll call
Well,
my
maybe you'll
therapist
redeem
I
tomorrow.
yourself.
will say, I am curious with what's left on David's list for
Okay.
hours synced in, because I do feel, knowing David and hanging out, that he plays Zelda a bunch, and I don't know what other games he's really putting time into. Where I'm playing a little bit of PlayStation, I'm playing Switch,
Mhm.
I'm going back to Nintendo, so I'm kind of diving into that. And Dave doesn't have a PlayStation 5 he's playing, or an Xbox. He's just kind of, oh, Switch, that's my jam. Nothing
Mhm.
new's coming out, so I'm just playing Zelda kind of thing. So we'll
Right.
see what
Well,
goes
I
into
think
that.
I think the reason is because as far as those other modern games, I know that they take 20 to 30 plus hours. and I, and I know it's going to sound strange, but I ain't got that kind of time.
How are you gonna fit that in when you're playing Zelda?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I think that that kind of deters me a lot
Mhm.
from modern gaming is because of we talked about this in the past is just timing, with all of our lives and everything like that. With that being said, it's my turn, right? So like
Yeah.
let's dive
Yeah.
into another one. I'm going to go back because there is one I want to talk about and I'm going to talk about it last.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about some retro games because I did clock a lot of hours as a
Mhm.
kid. And it's funny looking back at it. I was looking at my old games, trying to figure out people can easily say, "Oh, I clocked a ton of time playing Mario 3. I played Mario 2. I played, whatever, all the Mario games." I'm going to say I put in a ton of time with NBA Jam Tournament Edition.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Wow.
So I would play this all the time. I I would basically pick the team. Dude, I don't know if my save is still on here. I don't know if the battery's still. I'll have to fire it up and look.
Mhm.
But I think at one point I was like you put in your initials and it keeps your record.
Mhm.
And I think I had like well over 200 games. Like I think my record was like 200-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous. But I mean, it does make sense, Russ, because we did win the NBA Jam Tournament Edition tournament when it came to this South Norwalk,
Right, right.
that we did. So I clocked a lot of hours in this, and they have all of um, the playable characters where you can put the codes in and unlock. I think you can even play as the Beastie Boys in this, which is super fun. I have the NBA Jam uh, arcade now. It's just one of those games, man. Like me growing up as a kid, I don't know about you guys, but I played sports and I played a lot of sports video games because I really enjoyed, like, I was always a stat guy. I always loved like doing stats and upping myself and trying to like do better the next game or whatever and seeing what I can do. So I did play a lot of sports games. So that's the next one. How
Cool.
many hours? I can't clock it, but it's a lot, especially growing up.
Nice.
Oh, back to me. Well, I guess it's gonna be Final Fantasy, the original one. This is actually my original childhood copy. This is one of the only games that survived, 'cause I'd brought it here already before the fire happened. So this one, I don't even know the amount I played as a kid on this one. Like probably 100
Final
hours.
Fantasy 7, right? Yeah,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy 7, yeah, sorry. Um, I played a ton of this, and I don't know, back then, I never finished it. I enjoyed it, and I remember just sitting and playing it and just roaming around and enjoying the battles and fighting with it. I have played it as an adult, played it all the way through a couple times, and the fact that it's got, like, what, 4 discs to it? Is that 3 discs to it? Like, that says volumes about what was going on back then. This is a really fun game,
Mhm.
leveling those characters up. I love grinding in RPGs, so I put a lot of time into an RPG, which Final Fantasy VII is probably number 2. Hours, if Chrono Trigger is at 25 hours to finish it, it's probably equal that at least on this one, if not a little bit more. And if I added all that time I played as a kid, probably pushing 80 to 100, I would say, most likely. My number 2.
Nice. It's a good one. I've never beaten it. I've played it and seen friends play it, but heard it's a good one.
I I ground so much playing this one that the last guy, I think it was like 3 hits, my characters were so strong. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of a letdown," because it was just and there it's like, "And the game's over." "Oh, okay."
I'm too
Wow.
strong.
Yeah.
Moving on to me, I got I can't find how much I clocked on the original game, so I'm gonna mention the sequel, but I bet it was similar to that is Super Mario Maker 2.
Hmm.
I know I played the original Mario Maker on the Wii U a bunch just because it has the editing levels that you can do. So you can
Hmm.
spend a lot of time making your own levels. And then I did stream both games quite a bit. So that's like 2 hours, 3 hours each stream playing other people's levels. There is a story mode in the game that you go through. So I have that clocked in as well. And having multiple Mario um not games themes, right? So you can do stuff that looks like original Mario, Mario 3, Super Mario, Mario on the Switch. I thought was great. Yeah, Super Mario 3D World. So there's lots of playability, replayability on this
Hmm.
game, and being able to make your own levels, you could certainly sink hours into that. I remember on the first one on the Wii U, I made a full level similar to Metroid, like the opening stages of Metroid, like on NES, because you can turn into certain characters in the game. So pretty
Oh,
fun.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You can't do that in Mario Maker 2, can you?
Um, I think you can, yeah, because you could
I
be
don't
Link.
remember.
You could be
Oh,
Link in
that's
some
right.
of
That's right.
yeah.
Yes, you're correct. Yes.
So certainly a fun one for sure. and had a great time sinking hours and playing into that.
But I think in Mario Maker 2, they took away lanky Mario.
Oh, yeah, weird, like,
You remember? Yeah, the weird skinny guy. Yeah, that I don't. Keith has no idea what we're talking about.
I played and own because the first one came out on the Wii U, right?
yeah, yeah,
Correct. Yes.
So I do own that one, so I have played a Mario Maker game, but I didn't play a lot of it because it was difficult on that system.
right,
I
right.
shied away from it.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Fair.
What do
All
you
right,
got,
back
Dave?
on me, right? I'm gonna go another sports title from when I was growing up. And I'm gonna be honest, I have this game sitting in my NES right now, playing another full season because this is my favorite baseball game on the Nintendo. And to this day, oh my God, I'm gonna be 45 this year, and I'm still amped about this game. Like I play this game so much. I've never stopped playing this game, and that's Baseball Stars on the NES. The reason I love this game so much is because, and we've talked about this in the past, you can have a full season. And when I say a full season, you could literally set like 6 teams and play each team like 25 times. Like you set how many teams and you set how many games you play with that team. And so you have to go through all the teams, all the games. But the coolest thing about it is it saves all of your stats as like up to date batting, up to date pitching, and it gives you league leaders. And so it's kind of like one of those challenges of, hey, can this player get a higher average this year? Can this player hit more home runs this year? So I have so many hours put into this from growing up all the way to today. And I love this game because it's just a mindless thing. Like if I want to spend 10, 15 minutes to
Mhm.
play a game. The good thing about this game, it does have a mercy rule. So if you're beating the team by 10 runs or more by the end of an inning, you win the game.
Nice.
So with that, if I demolish a team, I could essentially play another game. So baseball stars. Keith, if you do not have this yet, you need to get this game.
I have it. Now that one you can have like a full female team too, and you can
Yes.
like bring them in. That was kind of one of the first ones that did that, right?
It's also a game, yeah, well, yeah, the Lovely Ladies is the name of the team,
Yeah.
but it also has a create a team where you
Yeah.
can actually play a season, win money based on the attendance of the games, and then build your team and get better players and kind of just ramp up. I mean, I don't want to call it RPG elements, but essentially you can upgrade your characters.
Mhm. Nice.
That's super cool. That's
Yeah,
that's
so baseball
really, really
stars.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard about that one, so that's why I didn't know that little tidbit there. But that's awesome, David. I'm gonna have to play it. I have it. So I'm gonna have to play it.
yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna throw you guys a little bit here, probably. So this one and the next one are probably relatively even on the hours I played in it. This is the first Red Dead Redemption on the Xbox
Nice.
360.
Okay. I heard
Now,
good things.
between the game
Mhm.
and the expansions that came after, the Undead Nightmare game that came after, which is incredibly cool, and the original game, this is the only game that I can say I have got 100% completion on. Like the first Red Dead Redemption, I spent hundreds of hours picking all the flowers, finding all the items, and I loved it. I don't know why, I love cowboy games, and Red Dead Redemption, the first one, I played all the way through, and then I just kept on playing it. There's an online version on it that you can play. We used to have my house has got this room where like the studio game room is. I've got a bedroom, and then I've got a big grand room out front. We used to have TVs in all the rooms, and there's a little cubby up top here. We have
Okay.
TV up there. So we would have LAN parties, and we would play Red Dead Redemption online because you could play it
Wow.
via LAN.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Undead Nightmare version, and we would have like just annihilate zombies, climb up on roofs, and just play that all night back in the day. Really fun game. This story is amazing. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption, so good. It's obviously a little dated now, the first Red Dead Redemption. I put so many hours and hundreds of hours into that one for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
See,
I
now
know.
I don't feel so bad putting hundreds of hours looking for Korok seeds, knowing that he's put hundreds of hours looking for flowers.
Picking flowers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm worried about me too. Trust me. I'm not getting myself off the hook.
Fair enough.
Good
Fair
one.
enough.
I've not played that game. Could I ask a question about that game? Because I don't have that game and I've never played it. I always see like Red Redemption 2. Is there multiple like expansion packs or are they separate games that go along with
So
that?
the first one came out and it's got a full story, a really incredible story. And
Okay.
then they came out with Undead Nightmare and they took the characters from the first one and basically threw them in the middle of a horror movie. So there's technically 2 games that are Red Dead Redemption with Undead Dead Nightmare, and then they came out with Red Dead Redemption 2 years later, and it's actually a prequel to the story in the original Red Dead Redemption. So you get to play as different characters leading up to the events. They kind of walk right into the events of the second one or the first one. So that's kind of cool. So
Hmm.
if
So
you haven't
they're
played it.
the same games with different characters?
So Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare are different games with the same characters.
Got it.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a different game prequel with the same characters. Some of the
Got
same
it.
characters. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
It's all
There you
very
go.
confusing to me, you guys and your modern games.
I know, me too. It's
With
like one of
that,
the only modern games I play.
my last are all modern games. So, and I
Okay,
have
great.
actual tracked hours in this. So I put 47 hours into it. Not a whole bunch, but that is the new Silent Hill 2 remake. So I played this one before I played the original one because I hadn't played the original one. And when this was announced, I was like, I got to get a PlayStation 5 just for this game to play. Like at some point, I did get it prior to this game coming out, but I was very excited to dive into it. Team Blooper did the remake of this here, and I definitely want to go back in and sink some more hours into it. But that's just 47 hours on my first playthrough on easy mode, just going through it. And I did live stream it for a few hours as well. But there are so many extra endings you can get,
Mhm,
and then achievements if you want to do that with the new games on the new systems. There's trophies that you can
mhm.
get, so you have to complete a certain task in order to get that trophy. So one of the tasks is to play the entire game without the radio turned on, so you won't
Oh,
know
wow.
where. So as soon as you get the radio, you got to shut it off and then finish the game, and then you'll get that trophy. But there's a whole bunch in there. Fantastic game. Definitely enjoyed it, and hopefully maybe I'll go back to it here and there and enjoy it a little bit more.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. We used to play that one in college all the time, dating ourselves. Here we go. Okay, so I have, um I don't know how many more you guys have, but I have 2. One of them can be an honorable mention. So, the next one I that's what I'll do, is I'll do an honorable mention one. But so my last one that I have that I wanna talk about is a game that you can no longer play.
Okay.
It is no longer available. Even if you have it on your system downloaded, you cannot play it. All the servers have been shut down. And I didn't realize how long this game was actually active. And when I found out, Keith, I was very concerned about my well-being at that time because of the amount of hours I know that I put into this one. And that game is, and I don't have a physical copy because it never existed, and that is Super Mario Brothers 35. Russ, do you remember this game?
Yeah, that's when they were dropping all these special games that were time sent. There was Pac-Man like
Yeah.
99 that came out. This Super Mario one came out. It's been so long since I played it. I almost forgot what like gameplay was like.
Yeah,
I
so
played it
this
a lot
was
though.
Yeah, it was Mario 35. It was the 35th anniversary of Mario. It came out October 1st, 2020. Basically, it's a battle royale online game where you would play through the original Super Mario Brothers levels, and you would be up against 34 other players at the same time, and you would be basically stomping on Goombas, hitting turtles, beating all the Hammer Brothers, the Lakitus, all the enemies from Mario 1. And when you would do that, you could actually trigger those enemies and get sent to other players. So it would make it harder for them to get through levels. And it was just a battle royale of like whoever's left standing at the end wins the round. Um Now I clocked in probably close to 200 hours on this because a lot of the games were quick. Like you could do a whole session in about 15 minutes, um, depending on who you're up against.
Hmm.
But now we're talking about close to 200 hours. Let me tell you guys how long this game actually lasted. It was launched October 1st of 2020, and it was discontinued on April 1st, 2021. So it only lasted for 6 months,
Hmm.
and I clocked in about 200 hours, and that just, like, I gotta go and see my therapist because I think I'm taking too much time with these games now. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I'm very bummed out because this game really everybody still wants this game to come back because it was so much fun. And I can only imagine what people would be doing it with it now. I hope they come out with another version of Mario, maybe even Mario 99 or something, because it was that much fun.
Hmm,
Nice.
crazy. Wow. Well, don't worry. I'll probably make you feel better by the time we get to the end of this, David. So,
Okay, I hope so.
you got 2 left, Russ?
Yeah, I got two short ones here, and we'll get to some comments as well. We got some on
Okay.
Instagram and YouTube.
I'll zip through this one quick and in a hurry. Then another RPG, Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6 on the Super Nintendo. I looked at my saves on this one. 55 hours put into this one, leveling up and playing. And this one I've played numerous times too. It's, in my opinion, is the best Final Fantasy game there is. Any game, any Final Fantasy game or any game at all that can have an opera scene and have a teenage boy excited to play it is a good game in my opinion. Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy 6, depending on how you're looking at it. That's the one on the Super Nintendo.
Nice. We'll get to that one eventually. I got the Pixel remaster, so we'll see. But sticking with RPGs, I feel like a lot of the RPGs are the ones we spent tons of hours into. This game just came out recently, and it's on all the systems. So if you haven't played it yet, that's Sea of Stars. There's a lot of Chrono Trigger influence here. It's by the same people who made the game The Messenger, Sabotage Studios. And if you did play The Messenger, it actually ties into this game story wise. I won't spoil anything, but I thought that was awesome. And I was like, I almost want to go back and play The Messenger again. So I put 67 hours into this game. I 100%ed it, got every trophy possible, platinumed it, as you will on PS5. So I have a platinum trophy for this. And there is free DLC coming out, I believe, the fall time. So I'll be diving back into this game and playing it a little bit more. Fantastic music, really fun. I know Tom Ryan was playing this game as well. So I'd love to hear his thoughts on that. And it's a good one. Check it out.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna do my last one. It's a honorable mention. It's kind of a game that it's really funny to be on this list. I've probably clocked in well over 150 hours because it's one of those games that's just one of those addicting games that you could play for like 20 minutes and then put aside. Um, and me and my wife play it all the time together, and as well as my daughter has gotten into it as well. And it's almost like you could probably consider it like a mobile phone game as well, but we played on the Switch, and that's the Suika game, also known as the watermelon game. And all it is it's kind of like a Tetris type thing, but what you do is you get this jar and you're dropping fruit, and then like so you have a cherry, and then
Mhm.
if you touch the cherry to another cherry, it turns into an apple, and then you turn the apple, you touch an apple to an
Mhm.
apple, it turns into an orange, and so on and so on. And the point of the game is to eventually get a watermelon. And it's not as easy as you think because all the fruits are random. I have gotten a watermelon probably 9 or 10 times, in the years that I've been playing the game because I can always just pick it up and play a quick couple games here and there,
Right, right.
if I'm just kinda wasting time.
Mhm.
Kylie's gotten into it. I play it all the time with Becky. Um, the goal, though, the ultimate goal, 2 watermelons. So,
Oh,
because of the size of the screen and the size of the jar, it's nearly impossible, but I think it's possible. So you're gonna have to have a lot of luck doing it, but that's the end goal is to get 2 watermelons.
Perfect.
Because the watermelons, as you I may not have mentioned, the fruits also get bigger as
Right.
they
Take up more
go.
space.
So once you get to a pineapple, then you go to like a melon, and then you go to like so it gets
A
really tight
tomato.
really quick. There's no I don't think yes, there is a tomato. I think there is a tomato in
Tomatoes are
there.
fruit.
It is a fruit. So yeah, so that would be my honorable mention. It's always
Sounds
fun
good.
to just throw into.
all right. Well, this one is probably gonna make you feel a little bit better about me questioning you a little bit, David.
What does Keith got?
Yeah, it's gonna be so bad. I guess this is actually a little embarrassing to be honest with you. So, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, you see there's a trend here. If I like a series of games, I like a series of games.
I get you. I
Now,
get you.
the story in Red Dead Redemption 2, everyone raves about. It personally, it wasn't that great for me. A lot of the choices made by your characters are choices that I wouldn't make personally. So I didn't enjoy the story as much. And then they came out with the online version, and Red Dead Online, kind of similar to Grand Theft Auto, but think horses, cowboys, and pistols.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, Red Dead Online, it was like 20. I was trying to look it up here. Uh, must have been 2018 that this came out. Um,
Okay.
when Red Dead Redemption Online came out, I was addicted. I'm still addicted. I have friends from all over the world that I play this with.
Mhm.
My buddy Mick, my buddy Carl. I play this. If I told you I put in 8 hours a week, I would probably be lying. There's probably a little bit more than that. Like, I'll sit down and we'll start playing and I'll lose all track of time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'll be 10 o'clock at night. And I'll be like, oh, I got to go to bed because I've been playing Red Dead Redemption Online for that long. But at one point, there was these huge posses of us from all over North America that would play it together. We're running wagons, we're hunting animals, we're doing all these adventures. And Rockstar was pushing that this was going to be a very supported game. Well, Rockstar decided maybe we don't need to do that. We're going to worry about Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever has been in development for the last 5 years. So if I was to pick at hours that I played in this, even though the servers are starting to die off,
Mhm.
thousands. Like, seriously, thousands of hours in Red Dead Redemption Online. I am like a level 500 and something. I
Yeah, yeah.
literally will get messages from players that they'll ride up and they'll take a shot at you, and me and the guys will do what we gotta do in Wild West fashion, and you'll get messages like, "Go touch grass." Like, "I was outside for work all day. I can sit at home and play Red Dead Redemption Online. Leave me alone, you 14-year-old." Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Nice. What about you, Russ? You got a last one?
To my surprise, I clocked in. It says 80 hours or more. So I don't have an
Oh,
actual note,
okay.
but it's this little game called Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. and
I love
I
it.
and I rushed through it. I didn't do any like barely any side quest on this thing or like search for stuff. My whole goal because I beat Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. I had it on the Wii U, never bought it on the Switch. I was like, I need to beat it so I can play this because it's coming
Right,
out in like 2 weeks. So I
right.
finished up Breath of the Wild. And what I wanted to do, I was like, I need to beat this as fast as I can because if I put it down and then go play some other stuff, I'm going to forget how to play it, forget where I was. So I need to just focus. And I think it was probably just the time when it came out and the baby was very young and napping. So I just had time to put into it or whatever,
Yep.
but I beat it and then I was like, I'm done with it. So that's my top game that I guess apparently
80
sunk a ton
hours.
of hours into.
Oh,
Wow.
David, we might have problems,
I think we all have a little bit of problem.
right? Like
We're
Red Dead
just like
Redemption
we're
Online
moving
had
pixels around a screen.
like a list. It used to tell you how many hours you put in, but
Yeah.
it glitched, so it started counting backwards. So I don't even know what says that I've got like 5 days in it at this point. So I've gone so far one direction and the other way. But in preparation for this, we were looking at it. It tells me I've killed 26,000 other players. That's how much time I put into it.
Well, I do
That
feel
game
like
that game keeps track of how many kills you have?
Yeah, 26,000 players.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
Mhm.
I,
little aggressive.
I feel like with the online
Right?
games, you can certainly get lost in and we'll get to the comments and see if anyone
Yeah.
Yeah.
said any of
Yeah.
those games. But I like I said, you're hanging with your boys, you jumping in. Like top games just off the list, like you said, Grand Theft Auto, probably a
Mhm.
lot of the Call of Duty
Yeah.
games, right? Because it's
Right.
Right.
almost a hangout with your friends and you're just playing the game and you guys are chatting along so you can get lost 6, 8, 10 hours playing it. And then you're doing that weekly. That's your hangout
Right.
instead of going to the bar or whatever you have. It's like, well, let's jump
Not even
online,
realize it.
Yeah.
catch up and play some games.
Yeah.
Becky's got nothing to worry about me. I'm just sitting in the basement playing Tears of the Kingdom for thousands of hours.
All right, let's hear what you guys had to say.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
Let's hear from you guys on our YouTube community page. We got Mike says the games I had most hours into as a kid would have been Bionic Commando, Life
Mhm.
Force, Super
Oh,
Mario
wow.
3, and Zelda. I love the replay value they have. An-
100%.
Another bald nerd. As a kid, probably Ocarina of Time. That's a good one. To
Mhm.
this day, still never beat it, but remember putting a ton of time into it and having the strategy guide to help me along the way. Age of Empires on the PC is probably way up there too. For modern games, probably Breath of the Wild. Without going to my Switch, not sure how many hours, but hands down, got the most hours sunk into it. That and probably Animal Crossing New Horizon. That's for sure. Yeah. I feel
I
like
feel that's on a lot of lists
the Animal Crossing games can certainly sink a ton of
because
hours in.
that game came out during COVID, and I think that really
Yeah.
boosted the sales of that. That's one of, like, the top selling games on the Switch.
Right, right. Absolutely. Over on Instagram, we got Ty Gaming and Collections says, I wish there was a way to back measure the time on all my retro games. I know the Final Fantasy series took a lot of my gaming time. The original Final Fantasy VII, I probably put 40 plus hours in, and that was after putting 20 hours in and deciding to start over. Oof. Then with the two new remakes, that combined is probably close to 200 hours. Next closest would be Zelda Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Combined would be around 220 plus hours. Lastly, I'll admit I play a lot of Hearthstone, and I can only imagine that has to be around 400 plus hours over the 10 years of playing. Hearthstone, is that a mobile game? Is that a PC game? You've heard of that one?
I've never heard of it.
Never
It
heard of it,
sounds like
no.
it's a PC game.
I've heard of it. I just can't place it. I feel like PC. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Hearthstone. And Mike says, as far as retro goes, I spent a lot of time playing Ninja Gaiden on NES. From renting it as a kid, never beating it, playing it as an unlockable in the Xbox reboot, or emulating it now. The last modern game I really sunk time into was Borderlands 2. With all
Mm,
the weapons you can get, endless combinations for skill trees and different characters in DLC back when someone would come on a disc too. I
Oh.
didn't have the internet at the time.
Interesting.
Nice. Yeah, those are certainly I feel like with DLC and unlockable stuff that can help you coming back to playing some of the games. Another one that didn't make the list, but I did put a lot of time into was Spider-Man. And there's a lot of, side missions in that game and
Yeah.
jumping on, and I just enjoyed playing that one there. So I feel like putting the hours into that. I will say, how do you guys divide up time to sink into these games quickly?
Well, I'm self-employed, so I make my own
Okay,
schedule. That's the best way I can describe it. When I know a Zelda game's coming out, I make the time.
there we go. What about you, Keith? I know you work a lot of hours in
I
a
just
week.
lose sleep. I just lose sleep.
Okay, just stay up and play.
I mean,
Well,
it's fine.
my one buddy Mick is from Australia, so when it's morning for him, it's evening for me. So we end up playing Red Dead Redemption online in the evening
I
for me and
gotcha.
morning for him. So I'll stay up till like 11 some nights and play it and
Yeah,
just suffer a little bit the next day.
I will say with myself, it's certainly time management to the T because having a full-time job, a 2-year-old, having to watch her and spend
Mhm.
time with the wife, I can't just be like, all right, I'm gonna go play games. I do have designated every Wednesday. I stream for 2 hours. So that's just a random game. Usually I'm playing. But then if there's another game I want to get into, I have to find that time. And much like Keith says, maybe I'd have to stay up till a little bit later, essentially, to get that time in. So it has become harder to sink tons of hours into the game. I will say maybe going portable, either getting the PlayStation Portable or bringing the Switch to bed. So this way, me and my wife could go to bed at the same time, but I can play the game while she passes out because she can't
Yeah.
fall asleep unless I'm already in the bed. If I'm coming to the bed late, I'm gonna wake her
Oh
up, but
no. Oh
I gotta
no.
be in there already.
Yeah. I just creep in right after the podcast. I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet.
Excellent.